Hey, welcome back to Do you want to save changes? Hey, welcome back to my Google Data Analytics project, Capstone project. I'm continuing to look at the cyclistic bike share numbers. Uh, Today I'm going to use a couple of them. I'm going to use SQL uh, and SQLite to create some summary tables. Okay, because I think if you really look at the numbers, the request, they're not really asking for anything finer than simply daily numbers. But of course, we can do better. We could actually do numbers by hour, I think. Okay, which would be interesting. But if all that they are looking for is is daily numbers, then we can do a number of summary tables to get all that data down from what was it 3 or 4 million rows down to a couple hundred rows. Okay, because if you're going to have if you're doing a year's worth of data, okay, and you distill it down to daily numbers, you're going from 3.5 million rows to 365 rows. Okay, if you think about that. And even if we do it by the hour and day, well, guess what? We're still only doing, we're still only, still, you know, we're still, I have a very low bout of numbers. What if we have, how many rows is that? So if we say 365 days times 24. So we can do calculations and then visualizations at the hourly level per hour. Okay. And I still only have 8,760 rows, which of course, BigQuery, any spreadsheet program will handle with these. And the other good news is a smaller table size also. All right. A smaller table size will also load much quicker into BigQuery or into a spreadsheet or into even Tabular Office. You know, I'm currently at the stage where I want to do all my data munging, all my data, all my all my data clean. I want to do it uh, in either R or SQLite, so I can get the data down to where it's at. And a simple fact, SQL and R are better tools for data cleaning. Now, I'd say R is the best tool for data cleaning than say a spreadsheet. It's as simple as that. Okay. So anyway, let's start with a quick introduction of how to import data. So we're going to delete this table right there. And we're actually going to delete this table right here. And no, I don't know. Let's delete stations, okay? So we're going to begin by importing our data. And the thing that's nice about SQLite is you can import a whole range of data, as you'll see, at one time. Okay. Now, one note, so we're just going to call this T1. And then we're going to calculate the duration in minutes, tip duration in minutes, okay? So let's take a look over here, see exactly how many records we have here. 3,480, 480, 480, what do we got here? 3,489,748 records, okay? I can tell you from look at this record previously, okay? There are some Well, there are some station names missing, start station name missing. There's also a problem that there's some duplicate station names, meaning you get the same station name with two different station IDs. Okay, look at the first thing we want to do, just to make it easy, is we want to come back over here and we want to calculate the trip duration. Now, of course, we could get rid of the data we don't really need. Let's do that. Let's check over here. What we got over here? Clean, change names, clean station name. Let's see. We could come over here and you know what? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and create the create column. Okay, how to create a column in SQL. Okay, add a new column, MySQL. Let's just do this. Add column. Okay, alter table name, add column, column type. Okay, so let's do this. So let's add a column for trip duration. Okay, let's do table one. Now there's probably a way we could do it direct. We could probably do a select at this, create the table and a select at this point. So what we got over here now, it's correct database structure. So let's say real. Let's see if this works. Let's come back over here now. And there's our duration field. So now we want to do an update. Let's save this. Okay. Okay. So we've done that. Now we want to do update table T1. So we want to say over here, wait a second here. I'm going to do update. So the basic format is update table name, set column. Set column. So could we say set duration equals? Let's try this. Okay. So we're going to say update T1, set duration equals. So will this work? I'd be really tickled if this actually does work. Update T1, set duration, this value here. So what happens here? And now we got duration. You know, I'm absolutely tickled pink with the results of this query. I have to tell you, I really am. It means I haven't completely lost all my SQL knowledge. So let's take a look. So let's do this. Let's do another query. We're going to say select star from T1 where equal to 0. Well, so that doesn't do us any good. I mean, okay. This is a reminder, this is trip duration in minutes, okay? But suppose we say greater than 0. So that's going to be 67 minutes, 132 minutes. Let's see if someone answered my question. Oh, oh, okay. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So, hmm. Oh, this is interesting. That's very good news. Okay, so as you saw, well, let's take a look here. The question is, how do we convert this Julian date number into minutes? Okay, so we come back over here. I posted a question to the form on SQL. And the answer was, and the answer is, well, his answer was 24 times 60. 24 hours times 60 minutes, okay? Then 24 hours times 60 is what? That's 24 times 60 equals 14. So therefore, we need to come back over here, change this. Now, since this is an update, we can come back and rerun this, okay? Run this exactly as it is, simply update the existing numbers. Let's come back over. So here's his answer. The sub-expression gives a number of days. Conversion of days to minutes require multiplication by the number of minutes in a day. To a very close approximation. That is 24 times 60 rather than 3,600. 24 times 60. That's what? Comes to 1,440. Okay? So now we've updated our table. Now what we want to do is, well, we want to create, we've already calculated this. Okay? So now we'll come over here, this, and say where duration is greater than 0. Okay? So summary stats, let's run this again. Run this. Let's do this from T1. Okay? Maybe this goes up here. Okay? It's thinking. So again, what we should do is, we could, of course, change, okay. So now if this is correct, we had 4,633 minutes. Okay, so let's come over here now. Copy headers. Now, can we really have 99,000 minutes in a day? Well, this is a different, so that's the trouble. So the maximum you would have, well, you could have 1,440 minutes per ride. Okay. We could, of course, divide sum by PDD and get the average number of minutes per ride. Anyway, let's come over here. We got some data now. Let's just cut and paste this number in here. And oh, I didn't get the dates. Now, again, remember this. Okay, let's remember all this. Convert to a number. So this is min. So this would mean the total number of ride time April the 1st was 46,333. The average length in the ride was, again, how can you have a maximum? Okay, this is minutes. So 2,000. So what is 2917 divided by 60? Well, that's 48 hours. So the maximum ride time for this day was 48 hours because this is 2,900 minutes. And there are some problems. There are some dates in there when the ride times are printed, like you checked it, it's as if they took the bike out of the day and they didn't return it for 24 hours, which isn't completely impossible, but I just think it's unlikely. Uh, so a better number may be the means. Okay, so let's take a look at the mean. Let's take a look at first of all let's take a look at the summary by day. So this should be the number of ride minutes per day. Okay. So did we really have 1.2 million ride minutes in a day? Let's take a look at median. I wonder what the red line is there. Why am I still getting that? That's weird. Okay. So this would be the average number of minutes per ride. We got this spike over here. Okay. We may want to say any rides that are less than 70. A 7-minute bike ride is perfect. It's perfectly possible. I suppose even 100 minutes is reasonable, an hour and a half ride. But this number up here doesn't make any sense. Was it really a total of 1.2 million rides per day, minutes of rides per day? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we actually have the number of bikes. But anyway, let's come back over here then. The minimum is not particularly. Let's just go ahead and plot the minimum also while we're here, right? You can see that the minimum isn't very exciting. Okay, although there was one spike up on the minimum, but it did go up. Okay. So what about the other one would be useful is trips per day. Okay, so so are they really having 30,000 rides per day on a single day? How many bikes did it say they own? Well, if that's what the numbers say, right, then that's what the numbers say. And that's, again, this is trips per day. It's simply a counting function. So there's our first level of detail. This is our this is our courses level of detail. Okay, we can go down to finer detail by, for instance, doing this by bike type or by membership type. Okay, let's see if we can do that. Let's go and close this. Come back over here. Do this. Okay. Since we're working with, let's do this. Member casual. Okay. So this should give us 2 rows for each day, 1 row for each membership type. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. So how many rows do we got now? 726 rows. Still well within any spreadsheet. We got member type, 1 row for each day. Member and casual. It'd be nice if we actually had the different levels of membership, whether it's a weekly or monthly or yearly membership, but that's okay. Now we can even go uh, maybe 1 week, maybe 1 level low. Okay, let's do this. Started at. Let's try this now. So hopefully this will return the hour of the day. Then we can do, we can, so now we got member casual by day. So we got a daily summary, we got a summary by member type, and we can also do a summary, but let's just save this first. Okay, Okay. All right. What else can we do here? I mean, we could put, I mean, ride type up here. And then come down here. Okay. Let's try this. Now, this is probably, for right now, the finest grain detail we need. But this code provides us with all the information we need to do the three top level plots. Okay, okay, and we still only have 1,346 rows. So you got member type, ride type, month. Now we could do month, ride type this. It doesn't make that much difference, I don't think. But anyway, so now we got our levels of details. Okay, plus fly duration by day, by member type. So for on December 2nd, 2020, uh, the total number of minutes for a non-member riding a classical bike is 1,248 minutes. Okay, so what can we do with this? Well, there's a couple things we can do. We can come over to Docs, Spreadsheet. Take a blank sheet. Okay, and now we got this. Let's name it cycle. All right, and now we got our summary data we need to work with in either R or let's try some. Let's do this. Let's do this. What happens if we do this? We get a separate row stacking. You see, this really doesn't do a lot of good. Now, so at this point, you have a couple options, right? You could import this data into Tabula. You can import it into an R. You can create a data frame, and you can use R and use an SQLite library to read the data directly in from the database. You could of course continue to analyze it using using Excel or a spreadsheet program. Okay, but to a certain extent, this really provides the level of detail we need. Okay? Probably the only level, because the only level I think the actual specs stay for is daily. I don't think they're really asking at this point for hourly numbers. But that's a separate matter altogether. I can come back and do it later on. So anyway, this does conclude this demonstration of how to use SQL in general, and specifically SQLite, to create a summary table based on what in this case three different variables: 1, 2, 3, and 4. The summary table used four variables. It used trip duration, it used month, it used ride type, bike type, and it used member status. Okay. So now at this point, and it includes a count for each one. It's very important. So anyway, this concludes part one. There was a part two of my continuing exploration of this data set, trying to come up with a format that's going to work the best for me and for you. Thanks so much for your time. We'll catch you tomorrow with an updated report.